Hello everyone and welcome to Simple Index University Class 201, Creating OCR Configurations. In this job we're going to look under the hood of creating a Zone OCR job. We're going to show how to set up some zones, how do you draw those. We're also going to talk a little bit about templates, how you would create a template to tell Simple Index specifically what type of information you're looking for within the zones that we define. So in this one we're going to take a look at the read invoices with Zone OCR job again. You've seen it before if you've watched some of our earlier classes. We'll go ahead and run this one just so we can see what's going on here. You can see we're looking for an account number, an order number, and a company in this particular job. It's all done through OCR. And as it processes these pages here, you can see that it's looking for the account number and the order number and the company based on these zones. So account number is in zone 1, order number is in zone 2, the company's in zone 3. And you can see those are quite large compared to the actual size of where the content is. And we'll talk about all that a little more as we go through this. For now I'm just going to end this job and we'll take a look at the job options. And on our index tab here, let's talk a little bit about the template. The template is essentially where you can tell Simple Index that when it reads a particular group of text, whether it's from a zone or even the full page, that you want to extract information that matches a certain pattern. And in this case, we know that the account number is always a 7-digit number, and we've just typed in 7 pound signs. Now we do have an option here under the Set button where you can get a little more explanation as to what's going on with those templates and even test them out. So in this case, it spells out what our different wildcards are. So the asterisk is any character, pound is any number, capital A is any letter, X can be any letter or number. And then we have some special characters over here. Also, if you want to specify, if you're actually looking for an A, for example, you can use the backslash. So backslash pound in this case means I'm actually looking for the pound sign followed by any 6 numbers if I type it this way. So if I ran a test on this, it's testing against the information down in here. So if I run a test, you can see it finds this 7-digit number right here. So you can enter your own information there, whatever might be on your own document. You can enter it in this test area and then see if your template is performing as you expect. Another thing that we can do, we can also look for multiple templates. So we could say we know that the account number is either a 7-digit number or it's a 6-digit number. So I can put a pipe, it's that vertical bar which is shift backslash if you're not familiar with it, and then I can put 6 pound signs. So now it would look for a 7-digit number, and if it didn't find that, it would then look for a 6-digit number. So the pipe almost acts like an OR operator, 7-digit number or a 6-digit number. And one thing you want to be careful of here is always put your biggest unit first. So we want to make sure we look for the 7-digit number first, and then if we don't find that, then look for the 6-digit number. If you put the 6-digit number first, it would just capture the first 6 digits out of a 7-digit number if in fact there was a 7-digit number there. So remember, it's always the larger search term first followed by the smaller search term, and you can string those on out to add as many as you want. We could do a 7-digit, a 6-digit, a 5-digit, and so on, and just keep adding them. So here we're going to leave that at the 7-digit number. The order number is a 6-digit number, so we've got that set up right there. And in the company, now company works a little differently. Company is actually a dictionary match. So let's go over and take a look at that. On the Zones and OCR field, you have this group of settings here on the left, all pertain specifically to whichever index field you're talking about. So what you always want to do is go in and choose the specific index field that you want to work on first. So you can see as I move through these, all of these values change, and when I go to company, that's where I get this dictionary match down here. In this case, my dictionary is quite simple. It's literally just a text file. Let's open that up. We can hit the edit button here, and we can see there's the various options that it looks for in this job. So when it's reading that zone that we're going to draw here in a moment, it looks in there and it compares all the text that it reads inside that zone and it sees if there are any matches to any of the values on the list. And also I can, again using the pipe operator, I can expand my option. So let's say that on some of our invoices, tech type interfaces appears as the phrase tech type interfaces, and other times they just put TTI on their documents. So now I've created a scenario where it looks for either the phrase tech type interfaces or just TTI. The other thing that happens here, and it's quite handy, is if it reads TTI, it's still going to display the phrase tech type interfaces in the index box. So this lets you do some things like some companies on their invoices might put a logo and OCR can't read that logo. Well, what I could do is I could search for their address. Let's say it's always 1234 Main Street. So now when it sees 1234 Main, it still returns tech type interfaces as the company name. So that's kind of how you use it. And that's called a synonym match. Whenever you put these extra phrases on here that equate to the same thing, it's a synonym match, and it's how you can build your dictionaries out a little bit further. So let's just save that, close out of it here. So when we've got all that set up, we're ready to draw zones. And the way you can do that, there's actually a button for it right here, Set Field Coordinates. So we click on that, and it's going to ask us if we want to save our settings. Sure, we'll do that. And then this new panel comes up, and it's giving me a couple of options here. I can just select an image that I want to work on, and I can either scan one in right now, or I can just open a file. In my case, I'm going to open the file, and we'll go into the input folder for this job, and we'll just choose the first page here, sample page, and move this guy out of the way a little bit. And you'll notice that my mouse action here has changed to set field coordinates. My cursor has changed to a little crosshair with the word OCR next to it. And so all I do is literally just click and drag a box. And it doesn't have to be right down against exactly where that account number appears, because we are using that template. And that's the power of the dynamic OCR that Simple Index has. You don't have to specify a very, very specific little zone, which will be off when the next page comes through because it's shifted in the scanner, for example. Once we've drawn the zone, it says, what field does this apply to? So I just drew the zone for account number. Hit OK. I'm going to draw my second zone for the order number. So we'll draw it here. Order number. OK. And then I'll do one for company. And you can see I'm just essentially drawing a new one for what was already there, since this was a pre-existing job. But if you were defining a job from scratch, those pre-existing ones wouldn't be there. Hit OK. So there's my 3 zones. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Drawing zones is a fairly straightforward operation. When you finish, just hit close. It'll take you back to your job options, and OK out of there. And always, it's a good practice to make sure you save your changes. So we'll just do a little file save here. And now I've saved that, and my zones are stored, and my template is stored, and all that. That's really all there is to it. In some other lessons, we'll talk about how you can do full-page OCR and find information on a document that way. We'll get into some more advanced template matching and that sort of thing. But that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you in another video.